Today I'm going to talk about 4 different camera straps. I've got the basic one and 3 others, and also another way of attaching the camera to you without even having a strap. When you first buy a camera, it does come with a strap. This is pretty much what you get. They are quite good because they're lightweight, so this means when you are using the camera, it doesn't get in the way too much. But when you do have a bigger camera or a bigger lens on this, it starts to pull on your neck, it starts to get quite uncomfortable, and it can give you quite a bad back and a bad neck. And I know a lot of photographers that are a lot older that do have this problem. Now the advantage with this is that it's free, and you pretty much get one with every camera that you'll ever buy. Now there are downsides, and one of them is you look a little bit like a tourist. So I'll only ever use this if I'm out in a place, there are security guards, and I'm trying to blend in with the tourist, but apart from that, I don't use it, and it stays in the box that I bought the camera in. Now, one disadvantage to this strap is that if you've got your camera on a tripod and the winds are high, this could flap around and knock the tripod. And it might not seem like much, but that little bit of vibration can transfer into your shots, especially when you're doing long exposures. So the next camera strap that I have is one from Peak Design. This is a step up from that standard one that comes with the camera, and it has a few advantages, but also a few disadvantages. Now the advantages are that it has these little clips on the side, so you can remove it really quickly from your camera. So you can pack this away, and when your camera's on the tripod, you don't have that strap flapping around in the wind. One thing I don't like about these is if I'm recording video or I'm trying to get audio, these will clack around quite a bit. So that's one thing I don't like about these. But the design of these is really good. You can attach them and detach them from your camera strap really quickly. This strap is a lot thicker than the one that comes with the camera, so it does kind of spread the weight around your neck. But one thing I don't like about it is how bulky these clips are and these bits are, especially when it's attached to the bottom of the camera. They do seem to get in the way quite a lot. Now the one good thing with this is you can make it a lot longer than that standard camera strap. So you can have your camera a little bit like a sling, and also there's a mounting point that goes on the bottom of the camera, so you can have it mounted a little bit like the shoulder sling that I'm going to show you next. Now one disadvantage in having it in this position is when you bring it up, it rubs on your neck, and if you don't have collars, it can kind of chafe your skin a little bit. So that's one thing I don't like about this. It does slide to a certain extent, but it does feel awkward. If you bring it up, again, it feels like there's a lot of strap in your way. And if you have a camera with a flippy screen, again, this will get in the way. You can mount it on the bottom, so that will get these straps out of the way a little bit, but then you've got 2 mounts on the bottom. So again, there's a lot of material coming off the bottom of your camera. So the next strap is the shoulder sling. I shoot with this all the time and I really like it. One thing you find is you can change the length of it, like most of the other camera straps. So depending on how tall or short you are, you can change it to suit. You can have it up quite high or down low, it's up to you. The one great thing with this is it's got this buckle on the bottom which slides backwards and forwards along the strap. So instead of the whole strap moving, it's just the camera that moves. And also you have these locking points, so you can lock it into place if you want to. Now when I'm shooting events, which hasn't been that often recently because of you know what I'd normally do is have a double setup of these. So I'll have a camera on each side. Then I'd have the 16-35 on one side and the 70-200 on the other. And because they're strapped together, it holds it nice and solid. One thing with this single strap is that at the moment I've got my rucksack on, so it's holding this bit solid. But if you just have the strap on, sometimes this can move down and you can end up with the pad down here. So sometimes when I am shooting without a rucksack on, this does happen. I have to kind of shuffle it back into place. That's one of the downsides with this strap. The other downside is that it uses up your mounting point. Now, this is annoying because you have to take it off and then put a quick release plate on to attach it to a tripod. However, with this L bracket, I've got this 1/4-20 thread on the side. So if I attach it to the side instead, it sits on my hip really nicely. I've got that thread free on the bottom and I can use it on a tripod as normal. That mounting point won't get in the way of when I attach it to that Arca Swiss plate. So next I've got the hand strap, and this mounts on the bottom and on the top camera strap. It basically attaches your hand to the camera. Now, if you are shooting a lot with this, it works really well because you're taking photos, it's always in your hand. You can actually just let go of it and let it sit in your hand and you won't drop it. Now, the downside to this is that if you need to use that hand, say if you're right-handed and you need to write something down, you then have to take it out of the hand strap and then you have to put your camera down. It's not attached to you. The other downside to the one that I have is that it covers the actual battery case. So if you have a camera like the A7R II with the smaller batteries, this will be a bit of a pain because you have to take it off every time you change a battery. Personally, I don't really like these hand straps because you've got to have them tight for them to be secure, but then it takes a while to get your hand out of that strap. You can buy better ones, and I bought quite a cheap one, but they're not really for me. They might be for you, but they're not for me. Now for this next one, you don't even need a camera strap. And if you watch Thomas Heaton or Gavin over on Photo Tripper, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And it is the Peak Design capture clip. And this means that I can attach my camera to my rucksack or bag strap and I don't have to worry about it. It's nice and secure and it's there locked in, nice and solid. When you're taking photos, you just take it off, you take a shot, and once you're done, you click it back in. Now the great thing with this is that the plate that you mount to the bottom of your camera, that's Arca Swiss compatible. So if you have an Arca Swiss mounting plate on the top of your tripod, this goes straight onto that without any worry at all. Also, if you use any of the normal Peak Design camera straps, it does have these little loops that you can attach those little red tags to. So again, you can have one of these mounts on the bottom and a strap, and it clicks on here. Now the only downside to that is when it's clicked on there with the shoulder strap, you've got things dangling off. But again, with that Peak Design strap, you've got those little clips where you can take the strap off really quickly. Now, if you really like this capture clip, but you don't want a camera without a strap on, you can put this hand strap on and use it while you're shooting. Then you pull your hand out and then click it in there. That kind of gives you that double security. It does take a little bit longer to get back on your hand and off your hand, but if you're unsure about shooting with the camera with no strap on, this is the way to do it. Ultimately, how you carry your camera around is up to you. I really like the shoulder strap or this capture clip, but what do you like? Let me know in the comments below. It'll be great to hear your thoughts. One thing with this single... Shut up. Or even the capture design. And also, I've got that Fred 3. And if you like this video and want to see more, click on this one next. Or if you're a binge watcher like I am, click down here. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for 2 videos a week. I'll see you next time.